The YouTube sensation, the kiss-tard's aggravation. He always stops and smells the flowers, too clean to take showers. At night he fights crime, a few coins short of a roll of dimes. A lunatic run amok, he is the illustrious Dr. Fuck.
Well, schmack 'em a gob, I'm back with the crazy Sportatorium stories. It's been a while, I know, I've moved, and I'm gonna do it. Now, the last time I did this, it was in 1985, but I didn't finish 1985. There was still 3 shows left. So what I'm gonna do on this episode is I want to do the rest of 85 and 86. Now, I'm gonna continue recording, but I'm gonna stop at 86 on this one. But then I'm going to do 87 and 88 is when the Sportatorium closed. So I'm going to do that right after this and schedule it for next month. So here we go. I left off in 85 where it was AC/DC with Yngwie Malmsteen, Fly on the Wall tour and Trilogy. Now, I saw this show in LA at the LA Forum. So I saw this tour twice. Then I saw it when I came back to Miami. And it was great. What was weird about this show was when I saw Yngwie open for Iron Maiden, it was on the Marching Out tour and it was Mark Bowles singing. Now this one's the Trilogy tour and it was Jeff Scott Soto. It was kind of a switch around. Really strange. And when I met Jeff Scott Soto, I told him about that and he remembered. He goes, man, that was that arena in the middle of nowhere with forest. He remembered that show. It was a great show, Fly on the Wall and... But, you know, I wasn't a big fan of Fly on the Wall, and they didn't really play much from, well, they did. I think they did Fly on the Wall, Shake Your Foundations, Sink the Pink. I think that's all they did. But AC/DC's always stellar. All right, then after that, oh boy. December 11th, Rat with Bon Jovi. Now, if you saw one of my past episodes, Bon Jovi opened for the Scorpions, and I saw it and I hated it. So this time I wasn't going to go in for Bon Jovi. I stayed outside, and then when Rat came, I went in. Now, I don't have it handy with me, but you saw in the past episodes, the guy that wrote the book of the Sportatoriums, he said Bon Jovi blew away Rat, and it was the greatest show he ever saw was Bon Jovi that night. So, hey, I missed out. I doubt I did. I mean, the guy likes Bon Jovi. Come on. But Rat was horrible. The sound man sucked. I got all the way up front. I snuck all the way up front. But I did get kicked out because I was really drunk on Jack Daniels. But I got kicked out like during the encore, so I didn't miss much. But I remember a lot of people were leaving. People were complaining about the sound man or the sound of Rat. It just wasn't good. And it didn't end there. It kept happening again when I kept seeing them. Alright, so that was that show. Then the last show of 85 was Motley Crue with Autograph. This was the Theater of Pain tour, and I thought, I don't remember seeing Autograph. I don't know if I went in or not. I just don't remember. I remember seeing Autograph open for Van Halen. But Motley Crue was awesome. It was, I think, the last show of the tour, or the tail end of the tour. And, you know, it was near Christmas, and I remember at the end of the show, they said, have a Motley Christmas and a Merry Crue year. I remember that. And also, I just thought it was a great show, great production, awesome, best drum solo Tommy Lee ever did, along with the Shout at the Devil one. But I thought this one was a little better with the drum going like this, and there was no samples like he did on future shows, including Girls, Girls, Girls. This was the best drum solo. And it was a great show. I thought Motley Crue kicked ass. Maybe it was because it was the last show of the tour. I think it was the last show of the tour. They gave it all and it kicked ass. It was awesome. All right, now we go into 1986. April 17th. I wasn't planning on going on the show. Now, y'all know me as the Van Hagar hater. Or Vangina, I should say. So, 5150 came out. I heard it. I didn't like it. I wasn't going to the show. But my friend had a free ticket for me. And BTO was opening. I like the BTO hits, radio hits. And I said, well, I'll go see BTO and I'll go see Eddie do Eruption. I wasn't expecting Van Hagar to be that bad. BTO was awesome. But Van Hagar came out and what'd they do? Like just a couple songs from the old days and all of 5150 except for a song or two and some Sammy Hagar solo hits. It was horrible. It was just terrible. And I walked out of that show going, man, the greatest show I ever saw in my life was Van Halen in the 80s. But this right here, till the next time I saw Van Hagar, which was the Monsters of Rock tour, I thought was even worse. But this one was bad. Really bad. And I remember I still have a newspaper article of somebody saying how horrible it was. And I wasn't the only one that felt that way. Now, the guy that wrote the book said it was awesome. All right. That sucked. All right, June 18th, Judas Priest with Dokken. That was the Turbo Tour. I remember getting all the way up front for that. I remember Glenn getting right in my face during Hellbent for Leather, singing Hellbent for Leather with me. I was all the way up front. It was just awesome. It was the Turbo Tour, and they did play a lot of those Turbo songs I just don't like. But they also played the Sentinel and, you know, a lot of killer songs as well. Victim of Changes, Hellbent for Leather. They threw out the good classics as well. So it wasn't a bad pre-show. Yeah, Turbo, wasn't a fan, but I thought it was a kick-ass show minus the Turbo songs. Turbo songs did not translate well live. All right, what's next? Ozzy Osbourne, Ultimate Sin Tour with Queensryche, not Metallica. Metallica left to Europe, and unfortunately I never got to see Cliff Burton. I am a huge Queensryche fan, and I love Rage for Order. It was a Rage for Order tour, so I'm glad I got to see that. They were awesome. Ozzy was great. I wasn't a fan of Ultimate Sin either, man, but I thought the band was tight. It sounded good, and they kicked ass. It was good, and I thought the Ultimate Sin songs were a little better live. Not much. But all in all, hey, I saw the Ultimate Sin tour and Rage for Order. All right, now here, all right, there's 2 shows left, and will be next week. This is an interesting one, to say the least. David Lee Roth played 2 nights, November 14th and 15th. Now, I went to the show on November 14th, drank, had a great time. Stellar, amazing, killer performance with, you know, Zederman Smile. It was Steve Vai, Billy Sheehan, Greg Bissonette. It was stellar. It was like a Van Halen show. You know, that just destroyed 5150. And by the way, Sammy's saying when he joined Van Halen, they played multiple nights everywhere. No, they played one night at the Sportatorium where David Lee Roth played 2. So the first night I saw it, it was stellar, it was killer. Next night, oh, and by the way, Cinderella opened. And I love night songs, so I was happy to see them too. Now, I went the next night with my friend Nick. And this time, we were drinking Jack Daniels outside, but not with chasers. Just straight. And I was telling Nick, man, this show rules. You're going to love it. Drinking. I go in, and during Cinderella, I started to feel a little queasy. Oh, and I wanted to leave, but they wouldn't let me leave because they had to have that outside open for David Lee Roth, I guess. But I started throwing up, and I don't remember anything after that. I do remember being in the drunk tank. It's a room with a bunch of drunk people. And I was laying there too, and I heard, I think it was Unchained playing, and I was like, oh no, I gotta see this, you know? So I went to get off the drunk bed, and my legs just gave out, and I fell on my ass, and I dragged myself to the door, grabbed the knob, picked myself up. By that time, the security came, grabbed me, put me back in the bed. I don't remember anything after that until I woke up in my bed the next day, and I was like, what the hell happened? So I called Nick, and I go, dude, what happened last night? I don't even remember. He said after the show it was pouring rain, and when he got to his car, I was laying on the hood with the rain soaking me. I don't remember none of that. And he also said on the way home he got a flat tire, and he got out of the car, fixed the flat tire while I'm passed out in the front seat. Interesting, right? That's a crazy story. Now the last show of 86 I saw there was December 6th. And it was Triumph with Bad Company, and I think that was, I'm pretty sure it was a Sport of Kings tour, where they had this crazy laser show open with a guy talking that I saw Motley Crue use on the Dr. Feelgood, the same exact laser show. But Triumph was phenomenal. That wasn't Paul Rogers. That was the later singer who passed away, played with Ted Nugent. Greg Howe, I think his name was something Howe. And I don't remember them, to tell you the truth. I don't remember them at all. I must have saw them, but I don't remember it. I was drunk, but I remember Triumph. And again, stellar, lasers, bombs. Triumph was amazing. Amazing band to see back in the 80s as far as stage show and musicianship. They were just amazing. And that is it for my... But I'm going to do it right now. I'm going to go into 86, 87, and 88 right after I pause this. And you'll see that next week. So that way, next month. So that way, the Sportatorium shows will be over. And I want to do them all now. I don't want to wait because, you know, there's been a big wait since the last time because of the move and all this. So who knows what's going to come up that might stop me from doing this. So I might as well do it now. So thank you so much for watching. And please subscribe to my channel if you haven't. And click that little notification bell. And please like the video. It's good for the YouTube algorithms. And donate if you like. I got a PayPal in the description below. So stay frosty. Listen to Black Sabbath. And smack 'em a gob! Before we get canceled, check out the Rock and Metal Combat Podcast with me and Wattzilla. We are the Podcast Kings. Link to the podcast is in the description below, and also a link to the YouTube page. Check out older episodes with visuals. And very soon, either Ian and I will learn how to go on YouTube Live. Might be soon. So check out the greatest podcast ever according to science.com. It's also God's favorite podcast and Satan's favorite podcast as well. So check out the Rock and Metal Combat Podcast before we get canceled.